Now fully in swing and topping the agenda on day 2 is the nomination and voting for the top 6 office bearers. Let's take you now live to the ANC conference at Nasrec. My colleague Bongiwe Zwane is standing by. She'll be in conversation shortly with Samkele Maseko. But Bongiwe, good afternoon to you, and it's great to see you again. I know it's been a long day so far, and we've got a couple more hours to go for our broadcast there. Give us a sense, just, a helicopter view of what's happening in the complex and the flanks of the ANC conference. I guess technology has changed these many years that we've been covering these conferences, and certainly a lot of innovation at play.
Good afternoon to you, Man, and to the viewers. Definitely, we're hearing a lot of talk around, technology. Speaking to NEC member Nomvula Mokonyane earlier on, saying that the new system is also a tried, they're doing a tried and tested approach there to be able to see how best they can use technology when it comes to the issues of registration. At the same time, Iman, we're now finding ourselves, where we are even able to speak to some of the delegates and ask them to come outside and join us for conversations, and that's the wonder of technology, that you are able to just get a speedy reaction. But also, Iman, technology being a very, very huge factor when it comes to some of the issues around registration here. The registration process marred by so many delays, the system going offline, not being able to sometimes link pictures to the delegates that are then coming, also at the same time trying to get those letters that are coming from the delegates who have sent replacements, for them here at the conference. That is also another aspect of the downside here where technology is concerned. But the ANC is saying that it is taking this in its stride, and hopefully things can be done differently in future conferences. But of course, Iman, I'm not alone. I have with me our senior political reporter, Samkele Maseko, as well as Jomo Sibiya, an ANC KZN PEC member who is joining us as well from inside the plenary. Thank you so much to you both for your time. Jomo, I'm going to put you on the spot with the very first question. Where is Dr. Zwelini Mkhize? Is he winning as the ANC president?
That's a very interesting question. Thank you very much, and greetings to the viewers out there in Samgale. Comrade Zweli is in the conference and he is contesting. He does have his support, and we wish him all the best.
Is he winning?
I think that's all that I can say. I think let's go to vote and see who wins. But I think numbers that are there, according to what I see, obviously they are saying something. But I wish him all the best.
I forgot that I didn't have notes.
I wonder, what is this that the numbers are saying in your view? Because when we speak to some of those who are backing the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, they say they've got the numbers. He's in a jovial mood. He's relaxed. The numbers are speaking for him. What are the numbers saying?
Obviously,
in your camp?
Yes, I'm a PC member of KZN, but I'm here as a branch delegate. I'm coming from Ward 3 Engutu. My branch nominated President Ramaphosa as the president, and I'm here to execute that mandate. Seated in that conference, looking at the numbers and the engagements that we've been having with many provinces and regions, I can safely say President Ramaphosa is coming back as the president of the ANC. The delegates inside there, you can see that a majority of them are in support of President Ramaphosa coming back as the president.
Before I come to you, Samgen, I'd like to follow up here. So is this an indication that anything is up for grabs now? Because KZN came out as a province backing Dr. Zwelini Mkhize.
In KZN, you've got quite a number of branches that they nominated President Ramaphosa. As well. You've got quite a number of branches who nominated Comrade Mtumseni, but being here, seated here, a number of delegates, more than 200 delegates, will be voting President Ramaphosa from KZN.
And I'd like us to talk about the Mtumseni factor in just a moment. Samgele, this is also at the heart of what we've seen, which is divisions, not only in the mother body, but also provincially in and itself, because just as the PEC announced in KwaZulu-Natal, we saw quite a lot of them coming out with different things that they were saying. And when it comes to the desired outcomes, we were hearing different messages as well.
KwaZulu-Natal is a province that is very dynamic, fraught with various perspectives. For instance, you look at who has been running the Dr. Zwelini Mkhize campaign in KwaZulu-Natal. You look at the campaign of Mdumiseni Ntuli as well, which came out of nowhere pretty much when it comes to the position of Secretary General, particularly coming from the back foot of having lost the provincial conference. You look at how he's been able to amass about 278 branch nominations in that province alone. It's individuals like Jomo Sibiya who were in that perspective supporting Mdumiseni Ntuli in the provincial conference, who have ultimately still spearheaded the Mdumiseni Ntuli campaign at a national level. And not only the Mdumiseni Ntuli campaign, the likes of the Sihle Zikalala campaign, who sits as #1 nominated across the country to be a member of the ANC. You've got the likes of Kwazi Mshengu as well. So it's a very dynamic province that even himself, Jomo Sibiya, is on the list of those 80 members, of those 200 who have been nominated to form part of those who will be contesting to form part of the ANC. But the most interesting point that Jomo Sibiya needs to speak about is the dynamics in his own province, particularly around Mdumiseni Ntuli, because there are those whom are in the top echelons of the leadership of the province who may not have been comfortable with Mdumiseni Ntuli coming back as the provincial secretary, but are seemingly now endorsing Mdumiseni Ntuli by opening up their regions for him to be nominated to form part as the Secretary General of the ANC. That's the point that Jomo Sibiya needs to clarify, particularly on who they are working with within the officials of the ANC in the province and also in the broader Provincial Executive Committee and in the various regions. For instance, if you take Mzala Nxumalo region, for instance, Mzala Nxumalo region, their regional secretary, they've formally endorsed Dr. Zwelini Mkhize for president of the ANC, but their regional secretary is part of those whom is saying Mdumiseni Ntuli must be the Secretary General of the ANC, which is an interesting dynamic in the province.
And Jomo, as you respond to that, also, add the fact that the province had been seen as having deserted Comrade Mdumiseni Ntuli.
No, I think in answering that question, you'll understand politics is very dynamic and it moves with time. We had an issue when going to the provincial conference. It was a different ball game altogether. It has its own dynamics that are provincial related. Currently, we're at a national conference, which is national in its nature, and we look in different dynamics. Yes, there are comrades that we are working with in all regions, across the board. Mdumiseni's campaign was across the regions in the entire province, not a single region where we don't have people that we've been working with, where we don't have delegates that we're having. In fact, in the province, there is a dynamic that you've got quite a number of comrades who will support Comrade Zweli, but support Mdumiseni as SG, support President Ramaphosa, but support Mdumiseni as the SG. So Mdumiseni is finding joy across the branches within the province, but also even the leaders in the province, the leadership of the province has accepted that Mdumiseni is the son of the soil. We need to accept that he's there and let us support him to make sure that we strengthen the ANC. He's got capacity, he's qualitatively, and we know that he can make a difference. But again, the work that has been done has given us an opportunity as well to try and mend even relations. When we went to the provincial conference, there were issues. But now we're finding each other because politics, we can't be personal about it. That's why some of the provincial leaders and regional leaders are not personal at Mdumiseni. He's not deserted. Yes, there were issues, but comrades, we have found each other, we've had engagements, and comrades have been very genuine. That's why you see the campaign of Mdumiseni was nominated in all 5 provinces in the country, but not KZN. But if you look at numbers that he amassed in KZN again, the 247, and then you'll see that it was a huge number, but we know that it's quite a lot. In KZN, out of the 881 delegates that are here, I can assure you that he will get about 600 of those voting delegates.
Then how do you mend the issue of Fikile Mbalula, who's contesting as Secretary General, and Mdumiseni Ntuli, whom are both seemingly aligned to the man you support, which is the president of the ANC?
That's why we said earlier on that we are not in support of slates. We want to do away with slate politics. That's why we are supporting President Ramaphosa. And it's President Ramaphosa. We're not supporting President Ramaphosa with a particular package. It's no longer the issue of packages. No one is going to ride on the back of someone. So we're just supporting President Ramaphosa as being President Ramaphosa, and then we've got other views on other positions. That's why it's Comrade Mdumiseni, not Comrade Mbalula. We've got nothing against Comrade Fikile Mbalula. Wish him all the best as well, but ours is Comrade Mdumiseni, whom we know very well, his capacity. Even I think you can see that provinces nationally have demonstrated the trust on Mdumiseni, that this is the person that we think can be able to unite the ANC and grow the ANC back to its former glory.
I suppose, Samkele, that kind of gives us an indication of how tense discussions are as horse trading continues. Let's then also reflect on this other issue as well. Some of your fellow provincial men, if I can even call them that, delegates from KwaZulu-Natal, were seen yesterday singing, refusing for President Cyril Ramaphosa to table his political report. At the same time, you saw then Siboniso Duma, your chairperson, getting up to try and quell those tensions. What are your views on what some of your fellow ANC members from KwaZulu-Natal did yesterday?
Let's be forthright about it. We don't need to be ambiguous about it. It's just hooliganism, it's thuggery, it's wrong, it's criminal. There is no person in an ANC being a delegate who's supposed to conduct himself like that. A president of the ANC can never be disrupted, no matter how aggrieved we are. There are platforms. This is the conference. This is where we're supposed to exercise all the rights that we have, but not that kind of a behavior. It's a behavior that is unheard of from the ANC. It's a behavior that is wrong. It's a behavior that I'm glad that the provincial leadership, the officials of the province called us after the conference. They addressed us, the chairperson, the secretary, and the deputy chairperson. They were very clear that this behavior is uncalled for and it can never be tolerated. It has to stop. This is embarrassing the entire ANC. It's putting the ANC name into shame. In fact, it has never happened in the history of the ANC to see such behavior in the conference. But I want to say, knowing the comrades from KZN, we are going to work very hard to unite and find these comrades and make sure that we talk to them, but also we make sure that they understand what the difficulty they are putting the ANC in. But we really need to unite as the province of KwaZulu-Natal and also understand that we are not a unique province from others. We belong to the unitary ANC. There is one ANC and the behavior is the same, the character is the same, and we need to understand that.
But Mr. Sibiya, are the chickens not coming home to roost with you? Because this same behavior is the same behavior that was there at the ice rink in Durban at your provincial conference when your president was essentially heckled and barred from trying to address and close your provincial conference.
It's the same, I agree. It's the same. We can't differentiate it. It was the same behavior, and that's why even by then some of us condemned it. That's why even the provincial chairperson, Comrade Siboniso, stood up and protected the president. He did the same thing yesterday with the secretary, Comrade Mtolo, and the deputy chairperson, Comrade Nomakuku. This is the behavior that we need to stop. This is where, as the PEC, we need to stand up and make sure that the character of the ANC is restored. And comrades in KZN, our own comrades, these are my comrades as well. We laugh and talk with them, but the behavior has to change. If we want to make sure that the ANC lives forever, it can never live forever with such behavior. The tendency must change, it must be stopped, but we need to work tirelessly and hard. But also make sure that the KZN delegation or the KZN ANC, we don't become an ANC that belongs to someone else. We just belong to the ANC and nobody else.
Are you surprised, though, because others have been saying that KwaZulu-Natal appears to be fragmented? It's putting itself in a corner, and it might be a repeat of 2017 where you do not walk away with any top 6 position.
That is the reality, and that's the danger we're putting ourselves in. That's why the leadership, when they called us, they made us all aware of such things, that our behavior is putting us on a corner as well. Our behavior will make us a target, and we're harming ourselves. We've got nobody to blame. It's us who are doing this. And nobody we can say, no, it's because someone did this to us. But we decided to do this, and it's self-harm. And I believe comrades will be aware, and it's such times where we need to rise and behave in a manner that is in accordance to the rules of the ANC.
And before you come in, Samkele, very briefly, in 10 seconds then, what then becomes the Zuma factor? Because ultimately you do have it in KwaZulu-Natal. How do you then deal with the Zuma factor then going forward? Because what we saw yesterday is exactly part of it.
Former President Zuma is the member of the ANC and the leader of the ANC, as he sits in the NEC as well. He's part of KZN. He's a factor in KZN. We can't ignore it. But we believe that President Zuma can't be weaponized. Comrades must stop weaponizing the name of President Zuma. It's wrong because some comrades are opportunistic. They use the name of former President Zuma to advance their agendas. So he must never be used as a weapon to deal or to just advance particular struggles. It's wrong, and I believe President Zuma must also be protected, even those who are using him for wrong reasons. It's wrong. We must protect him. He's an old statesman, and we all want to see him settling down and resting at home rather than being weaponized at this age.
Samgelo, you wanted to pick up on the discussion because really the KZN factor going into this conference is one that cannot be ignored.
The KZN factor is one that cannot be ignored, particularly with the relationship that's there between the provincial secretary, Bheki Mtolo, and Mdumiseni Ntuli. It's a very frictious a relationship filled with lots of tension. At some point, those whom support the incumbent leadership would say that if Mdumiseni were to be elected as Secretary General, it disband the province. Would it disband the province?
Never. Mdumiseni is not such a character. But again, disbandment of a province, you don't just wake up in the morning and disband the province. There should be reasons that are there for the NEC, because it's the NEC. It's not just the Secretary General who will wake up in the morning and say, I'm disbanding KwaZulu-Natal. But beyond that, Mdumiseni Ntuli and Bheki Mtolo, Comrade Bheki Mtolo, Unobhala, come a long way. They've served together in the PEC of the ANC Youth League in KwaZulu-Natal. You will remember that. But again, they were serving in the PEC of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, where Comrade Mdumiseni was the secretary, Comrade Mtolo was a PEC member. They are the same generation. There is no reason for the two comrades to have a very, a relationship that is having quite a lot of issues between themselves, because there is no issue that is tangible that you can say it becomes a conflict. And some of us, I'm close to both of them. I'm close to Comrade Mtolo, I'm close to Comrade Mdumiseni, and we want to see the comrades working together. But I don't think really there are issues. I think it's just that politics, at times, it can create those imaginary kind of, perspectives amongst comrades that can end up creating the conflict. But there is no conflict between the two comrades. And we are going to make sure that these comrades are able to work together. When Comrade Mdumiseni becomes the SG, Comrade Mtolo is the provincial secretary, they will work together and will build a stronger KwaZulu-Natal.
Mr. Sibiya, there are two individuals whom are arguably the most powerful when it comes to power brokering politics within the province. They are a significant bloc from the northern part of the province. Your former allies. Sipho Hlomuga, the Deputy Provincial Secretary, the only individual who came back from the officials that were there before your provincial conference. Then there is Dr. Ntuthuko Mahlaba from Umbusa Kubego region, formerly known as Emalahleni, the former Newcastle mayor. These two individuals, they've not been seen, particularly at the forefront of a certain campaign. And when you were addressed last night as delegates, they were not there to address the KwaZulu-Natal delegates to conference. Where are these two individuals?
I think those are my friends, those are my brothers, they are my comrades and my leaders. I think they've been having some other tasks that they've been given to do in the province. Yesterday, I'm quite certain that because there was quite a lot of work that was in the registration venue. Comrade Hlomuga was there helping the secretaries from different regions. Comrade Mahlaba, you'll understand, he's the treasurer of the province. So in the conference, there is quite a lot that is needed. That needs treasurer to be hands-on. So I believe they were busy doing the organizational work. But also, when it comes to the campaign, we know that the secretary was there at the forefront, and it's the province, I believe, that gave the secretary the task to be at the forefront of the campaign.
Do these two individuals support Phumulo Moswale or Mdumiseni Ntuli?
I don't know, but I believe they have the mandate in the province, but I don't know. I can't speak on their behalf. They are leaders in their own right, and I respect them so much.
And I hope you'll be able to tell us after voting concludes as to where
I'll talk to them after this.
Thank you so much to you both for your time. Do appreciate it. Iman, these are some of the conversations that we'll continue to have with various provinces, and one also hopes that at some point we get to speak to the Free State to iron out some of the concerns around some of the tags that were apparently taken in batches from the registration center, and just get some clarity on what happened there. But let's leave it there for now, Iman. That was Jomo Sibiya, ANC KZN PEC member, and Samgelo Maseko. And of course, Iman will chat again on the other side of 6 o'clock.
Thank you very much to Bongiwe and the team there. Very interesting statement, which we'll definitely analyze as we proceed. Around Jacob Zuma, the president of the ANC cannot be disrupted. President Zuma must not be weaponized. He must not be used.